The Handshake 5,000-year trust algorithm. This gesture is not a greeting, it is the oldest weapon check in human history. Every time you shake someone's hand, you are running a 5,000-year-old algorithm. You do not think about it. You just extend the arm, open the palm, grip, release. But that sequence of movements is ancient. It was designed for a world where the person approaching you might be about to kill you. The open hand was not a greeting. It was proof. Proof that the hand held no weapon. That is where this starts. Not in boardrooms or job interviews. In the dirt, on the border between two tribes, when meeting a stranger meant risking your life. Anthropologists trace formal hand-clasping gestures back at least 5,000 years. Stone carvings from ancient Mesopotamia show rulers gripping hands to seal alliances. The Babylonian king Marduk was said to take the hand of his subjects to confirm divine authority. In ancient Greece, the handshake appeared on funerary sculptures as a symbol of farewell between the living and the dead. Greek gods clasped hands to confirm oaths that could not be broken. Homer described handshakes as seals of trust between warriors. The Romans had a version too, gripping forearms rather than palms. That grip checked for blades hidden inside the sleeve. The up and down pumping motion that became standard may have developed for the same reason. Shake the arm hard enough and anything hidden falls out. This is not a polite theory. This is what the gesture was built for. Two strangers, neither willing to show weakness, both needing assurance. The handshake was the solution. It cost nothing. It required no interpreter. It communicated in the language every human body already speaks. Open hand means no weapon. Grip means I accept the terms. Release means we are bound. For thousands of years, this remained mostly a gesture between equals or near equals. Bowing and kneeling were the currency of hierarchy. You bowed to the king. You did not shake his hand. The handshake lived at the edges of power between merchants, between soldiers, between men who needed each other and knew it. Then the Quakers arrived. In 17th century England, the religious society of Friends refused to bow or remove their hats to anyone. They believed all people were equal before God, which meant no gesture of submission was acceptable. No bow. No curtsy. No doffed cap. Instead, they offered the handshake to everyone of every rank. A lord got the same greeting as a farmer. This was radical. It was also dangerous. Quakers were imprisoned for refusing to show deference to magistrates and kings. But the gesture spread because the idea behind it spread. The handshake carried a philosophy inside it, that two people meeting are, at the moment of meeting, equal. By the 18th century, it had moved from radical Quaker practice into mainstream European and American culture. The American Revolution accelerated this. A republic had no king to bow to. Bowing felt wrong in a country built on the rejection of aristocracy. The handshake fit perfectly. George Washington reportedly preferred it to bowing. It became the greeting of the New World. Then commerce got hold of it. In the 19th century, as trade expanded and contracts multiplied, the handshake became the seal of a deal. A handshake agreement was legally and morally binding in ways that a signed document sometimes was not. Your word confirmed in grip was your bond. Breaking a handshake deal was not just a legal problem. It was a social death. The handshake now carried the full weight of reputation, commerce, and trust. Science has since confirmed what our ancestors intuited. Physical touch releases oxytocin, the hormone associated with bonding and trust. A handshake triggers this release in both people simultaneously. It is not symbolic trust. It is biological trust manufactured in real time through contact. Studies show that people who shake hands at the start of a negotiation cooperate more, deceive less, and reach better agreements. The handshake does something a signature cannot. It engages the body in the transaction. You are not just agreeing with your mind. You are agreeing with your nervous system. The 20th century tried to kill the handshake several times. Flu pandemics in 1918 prompted calls to replace it. Hygiene campaigns in the 1980s questioned it. But the handshake survived every challenge until 2020. The COVID pandemic did what 5,000 years of history could not. It stopped the handshake almost overnight. Suddenly, the gesture that had sealed empires, confirmed treaties, and closed 10,000 years of deals was forbidden. People waved. They bumped elbows. They pressed palms to their chests. None of it felt the same because none of it was the same. The handshake is not just a custom. It is a technology. And you notice a technology most when it is gone. The question of whether the handshake will fully return is still being answered. In some cultures, it came back immediately, unchanged, as if the pandemic had been a brief interruption to a conversation that never really stopped. In others, it has become optional, contextual, something you check about before assuming. What this reveals is something the Quakers already understood. The handshake is a choice. And choices carry meaning that habits never do. When you choose to extend your hand to someone, you are doing something old and deliberate. You are showing your palm. You are saying, "I am not a threat." You are inviting the other person into a bond that your body will recognize before your mind fully processes it. 5,000 years of accumulated trust compressed into 2 seconds. The simulation logged this as one of its most efficient protocols. 101 gesture, 101 0 words required, 102 civilization-wide adoption, 103 still running.